Okay, so welcome back from the break. That was Scott with or Scott Evans with Holy Father. But we're going to be talking to a gentleman on his Instagram handle. I see, preacher's kid, kingdom promoter, photographer, just a publicist. He's a proper industry person when it comes to the gospel space. But one other bit of him that he's getting on now is ministering through songs. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we've got Manuel Lomotey joining us this afternoon on the table. Manuel, good afternoon.
I have to say, I'm honored to be here.
Yeah, great to have you though. So how does it feel that you get to do everything in the space? You're a photographer, you're a publicist, you're part of production, and now you are doing the singing. You're now doing the singing yourself. So tell us about that whole experience.
Well, I think at all costs, the gospel must be promoted. In any way we find ourselves, we must be able to propagate the gospel any way we find ourselves, yeah.
And so how does that help you as an artist that you know all the facets? So getting into it, maybe you know what to do. How does that help you?
So number one, I think it helps build your connections, and it also helps what to do at what time and what not to do at what time. I think it has its own good effects and negative effects one way or the other.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I get the negative part. Not so negative, but
yeah.
But anyway, I understand. So viewers, I'm sure when you're walking through town, you see like a very big billboard, or you've seen a couple of them in town, and all of that. But we'll talk about that in a bit. But aside what I have said, if you were to introduce yourself to our viewers this afternoon, and anybody who's hearing Manuel Lomotey for the first time, how would you describe yourself to them?
All right, so Manuel Lomotey is a young man passionate about the things of God, a young man who is passionate about propagating Christ to the ends of the world. And then I'm a worshiper, and I'm an entrepreneur. People don't know that side of me. So like you mentioned, I'm doing the photography, I'm doing this production stuff, and also I'm doing some one or two businesses. One or two businesses. Yeah.
That's
so
nice to
basically that's Manuel.
Was the ministry, let me ask before Helen comes, was the singing part, did it come earlier, or it came as you were on the job, doing all the other things?
No, the singing came earlier.
Okay.
I started singing way back in 2011.
2011?
Yeah.
Hey.
2011.
So.
But then I wasn't doing this full-time ministry. It was just singing to myself, singing in my bathroom and singing in school, in churches. But then I wasn't doing like a mainstream
thing.
Right.
But why didn't you take it seriously from that time, and then you went into entrepreneurship and other things before you are now coming back to it seriously?
I would say God's time is the best. God's time is the best. Gold is not gold and it passes through fire. So I think I was in my refiner's process.
Okay.
Which means you were facing some sort of challenges at the time, or how was it really?
When we talk about challenges, starting ministry is not easy actually.
Right.
And then I believe at a point God has to, let you stay back and get yourself much more prepared. You can be anointed, but your day of announcement might not be in. So you have to actually wait for your time of announcement before. Some people went to be called. Some people, God actually called them. So you have to actually wait for themselves. Yeah, some people went to call themselves. So you have to actually wait for your perfect time to, not to do things out of season and out of time. Yeah.
But I just wish to know, how did you know this is your perfect time?
Okay, so Bible said something in Psalm that the secrets of God are reserved for the lovers of God, whereby they sit and get the revelational knowledge. I always tell people that the blueprint of our lives is not found in just one encounter with God. It's found with a series of encounters with God. So I believe once you have encounters with God, once you fellowship with God, He tells you when it is and when it is not. He gives you the approval to go and the approval to wait.
Okay, so now the green light is on.
Yes, sir.
You've got to move. You've got to move. Amazing.
Okay, so would there be a time when the direction from God comes and it says you should do strictly music? You're going to put the preaching aside, or you are just going to...
We can actually preach to our music.
Okay, yeah, with the lyrics and everything, but you see, sometimes like we spoke to Perez, he's a gospel artist.
Right.
He's also a worship minister. And we can say, even though he's a worship minister, we see him more often like doing music. So that's what I'm asking, that would there be a time, maybe it would just be a preacher, no music, or do music.
Or put the camera down.
I know that would be difficult.
Well, I would say anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
So far as it's God's direction,
can
that's
happen.
it. Okay, that's good.
Okay. So there are lots of young gospel ministers, in the space, and I mean I get to interact with them a lot, and I know most of them. When it comes to you and the sort of music and impact that you want to put out, what do you want people to remember of you when they're calling all the names?
All right, so I tell my fellow people in the ministry that don't be like anyone else.
Okay.
Don't be like everybody. Be yourself. And being yourself is identifying what God has asked you to do. Because we all have different purposes on earth, and I believe you can't do what Joe Metal is doing to be like, okay, Joe Metal is going for Thor, so I also have to be. You can be in one corner, but you can make massive impacts. So I believe what I should be remembered for is, at the end of the day, let it be said that Manuel loves Jesus.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Right.
That's nice.
Jesus.
So tell us the latest thing that you're working on. It's just around the corner. Tell us about it.
Wow. So it's all about the Eagles Gathering. The Eagles Gathering. And the Eagles Gathering actually started last year. Right. So I was in fellowship with the Holy Spirit, and he was. Now, when you read the book of Acts chapter 2, Bible said that, and they were in the upper room, and they were having fellowship, and the mighty rushing wind blew over them, and they began to speak in tongues. And read the books of Joel chapter 2, it says, now is the time that the Spirit of the Lord is going to cause his sons to prophesy, old men to dream dreams, and all of that. So I believe this is the time is now that we are going back to, one of the purposes the Lord gave me is to bring people back to their place of power, bring people back to their place of identity in him, and that is being in his presence. So I believe this whole event is about coming back to the cross, coming back to our place of power, coming back to our, just as we are, come broken for the Lord to use us as he wants. And I believe we are in this end time whereby we need an awakening. Yes, we need an awakening even in our thoughts and the things we do. Everything we do, we need an awakening. That also inspired the theme for this year, the awakening. Whereby God is about to revive certain things in us. God is about to raise an end-time militar in this end-time generation.
Fantastic. Let's get into the details of this particular amazing event.
All right, so it's happening on the 5th of November.
5th of November. That's next
2 weeks. Next week, Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah. And that happens to be my birthday, actually.
The 5th of November.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
That's nice.
No, November was actually the best. You can't argue that. No, you can't argue that.
Okay, that's fine. If your stance.
No. You can't argue that.
Okay.
Right, so it's happening on the 5th of November at the ICGC Prayer Temple. It's off the Wisconsin stretch.
Okay.
Yeah, it's down the Wisconsin stretch, and the gates open by 4:30, and by 5, we zoom into whatever the Lord has for us. And we have Nana Mon Bill. We have,
my brother.
we have Nana Moa. We have Vivieji, another amazing woman of God. We have Bruce Otabel, and we have our very own Minister Kofi Kakari, who is also ministering on that day. Yeah.
Okay. It's
gonna be a time of worship, prayer, and the word.
Yeah.
Worship, prayer, and the word.
I get that, and I can tell you that from Nanama to I tell you, it's going to be amazing, and it's free.
It's free.
It's free.
It's free.
This one no gates for you, so just go there.
And your numbers.
You get in there, ICGC Prayer Temple,
Sir.
and just be a part of this amazing event by Manuel Lomotery. Manuel.
Relax.
As we wrap it up, though, finally, just talk to viewers who are watching for the first time. Just say something to them before we go.
Okay, before I leave, I just want to say something. The Bible says something that guard your hearts with all diligence, because out of it comes the issues of life. And I believe we are in an era, or we are in an end time whereby there's a lot happening. There's a lot happening, even psychologically, emotionally, there's a lot happening. So I always tell people that be careful of who you bring into your circle, because they can either make or unmake you.
Okay.
So I believe in this end time season we are in, you have to be careful I always tell people, the Holy Spirit should be your best friend.
Okay.
If you really need someone to talk to, go to the Holy Spirit.
Okay.
Just vent. Bible said, cast all your cares onto the Lord, for he cares for
cares.
you. Oh yeah, so go to the Holy Spirit.
So go to the Holy Spirit.
And he will do everything for you. So guard your heart with all diligence.
Okay, so guard your heart with all diligence. So that was Manuel Lomotery, Awakening. I'll go check it out. 5th November 5 p.m. or 4:30, starts at 5 p.m. ICGC Prayer Temple, and be a part of this amazing. Thank you very much, Manuel.
I can't wait to see you all.
We'll be there.
5th November. 5th November.
You know,
Okay,
get
it's
gig.
a Sunday.
You know, get gig.
Yeah.
All right.